would focus on the corporate water dharma first. I use the word dharma because it is a very important word in our heritage and it has a profound meaning. Many of you would be familiar with two words which are closely associated with dharma. Dharayati iti dharma, that which upholds an order, a civilization, a way of life, a society. And if you remove that, it will break down. So, dharayati iti dharma. And second is the word rakshati. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. If we protect dharma, dharma will protect us in turn. And that is why this huge emphasis on dharma, and you will find that the purusharthas, the four objectives, in all our Sanskrit literature, in whatever form you read them, Upanishads, Purana, Itihasa, Kavya, wherever you read it, these four objectives are always stated in one and only order. There is no other order in which they are stated. And as you well know, it is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And the constant injunction for us is to focus on dharma and karma, work, and liberate ourselves as much as possible from kama and artha. Artha enough for pursuing dharma, but too much artha. In the US, there is a huge debate about Thomas Piketty, the need for unions and the rising inequality of the income of the highest bracket. You know all that debate. I was in the US, in New York, right there during the 1%, 99% debate. Occupy Wall Street movement, 2008, in that financial crisis. And that challenge is still with us. I would urge the progressive leading corporates, I keep urging them, I talk to them in their annual planning offsites, conferences, to be water positive, not just do the minimum legal requirement, but go beyond it and be a kind of a role model, a trend setter, a benchmark for others behind them. And both water net zero as well as positive are not in fact costs, they can be benefits. They can add to the net return of the company in various ways, tangible and intangible ways. To do this, corporates have to involve all their stakeholders, in particular the suppliers, the input chain, the logistics chain, because they are dependent on a whole number of producers who produce the parts, components, sub-assemblies, and the final value addition in the mother plant may be 20% or less. So if the others don't take care, then you cannot have a net zero. So the main supplier, the manufacturer cannot take the view that I'll pay the price and you deliver, but he has to get into the manufacturing process, product, skills, materials, the transportation, packaging, to ensure that there is net zero potential for the final output that goes out, taking the entire value chain into account. They have to also benchmark, even if they achieve net zero or approach it, with the best Indian and global best practices. And many of you would be familiar, the latest news, some of you may have seen, SEBI has tightened the requirements of ESG after a long period of letting it go, and primarily the financial institutions, the ESG funds and investors. You of course know what ESG stands for: environment, social, and governance, good governance, social responsibility, and environmental awareness and concern. Now, SEBI has mandated in the next 5 years that the top 1,000 listed companies in India should produce annual business sustainability and sustainability reports, two separate reports. The business that it is sustainable in the future, given its resource requirements, natural resource requirements. So they would go about it gradually. 23-24, the coming financial year, the top 150 companies have to produce BS and SR, meet the ESG standards. And there will be auditors who look into this and ensure and certify that this is done. And I think this is good for a number of consulting businesses, but no problem, the society will benefit. We must have the global framework, methodology, skills, and certification. The second year, the 150 will go to 250. The third year, it will go to 500. 26, 27, the final year, the top 1,000 companies have to meet these standards. They consume about 80% of the resources anyway. The remaining companies are large in number, but don't. My guess is that even they will do it. The more people are aware, consumers are aware, employees are aware, people will do, companies will do this best practice for improving their own brand equity. And even if they achieve a great deal by the next 3-4 years, there are always new technologies that are coming in. Companies should be very alert, open, seize these new technology opportunities and go beyond net zero target. The external compulsion should not be the main motivation. The internal dharma should be to continue to do better and better, the pursuit of excellence.